What's up, trolls? I'm joining you today from the depth of my kitchen. As you can tell, it's a very high tech studio. Joining me is also Annie. She's only annoying all the time. She's a full, maybe 67 pounds, 4 feet tall, and all annoying. So we're
That
going to be
that
ranting a
that
couple
that's not
things.
true.
We are going to be ranting about a couple things. As you know, I have a couple updates on Damar Hamlin. There was a little bit of beef between Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless for some of the messed up stuff that he said or tweeted. I got some news on a Tesla and an actual update on that. So, first and foremost, Annie wants to take the floor and give us a little bit of a rant on something that has been happening with her. So,
One
Annie, take it
time,
away.
one time in my school, I had a substitute. I was the quiet one, and she kept yelling
Why was she yelling?
because the rest of the class wasn't quiet.
Were you quiet?
Yes.
How long did you have that substitute for?
One day.
1 day. Ooh, and how did that make you feel?
Eh.
Eh. Anything else that you would like to, I know it's hard being seven in this day and age. How did the pandemic treat you?
Um, I because the substitutes hand out green tickets. I got 2 green tickets, so I had 4 tickets.
That's pretty
Total.
cool. I guess that's not a rant. That's more of flex. But hey, it works. That's what we're here for. We're here for the good. We're here for the bad. Um, Anything else that you want to add to the spot before we take it to, your brother takes over and we kick you off?
No, don't kick me off.
Well, okay. Well, Calum is going to be joining us. Annie, I'm going to need you to move that way, please.
I'll move the
So,
other way.
Calum is going to.
Oh, stick
Bro, it's just going to be weird where you back there.
Bro, just leave.
Yeah, come on. Just. You had your chance. Yes, you can have my tablet. So, anyway, as I said before, I'm just a regular guy like most of you people. Holy, here's Calum. Calum is 25. He still lives at home. If we had a basement, he'd live in it.
Definitely.
He is unemployed.
I work at McDonald's, or I'm like I'm trying to get a job at McDonald's.
I've skinned this my son, Calum. He is 13. He's going to be turning 14 in April. And yeah, he was gracious enough to join me tonight. I guess, as you know, just like being 7, being 13 is a hell of an age to be alive, especially in 2023, where you can get canceled for saying the wrong R word.
Whoa.
I was going to say relaxed, but hey, whatever. You do what you do. What do you got for us?
What do you mean? No, I start with the rant.
Well, whatever you want. It's right
Go
there. This
away.
is it's going to be unedited. So,
You don't edit your.
no,
Okay.
no.
Bro, go away. I don't know.
Camera's right there. It helps if you look at it. Pretend that I'm not here. Almost pretend like you've done this before and you want to get a little bit closer so we can all hear you.
Okay. I don't know. I think Miss Duckles today, my Spanish teacher, she's kind of. Man, I tried telling her about the storm in the Bay Area, and she like completely dismissed it. She started talking about her brother and how he lives next to one of the rivers or something.
Is he homeless? Because we have a lot of homeless people around this area.
He lives like right next to the levee of the Great American River, I guess, or whatever.
So he's homeless. Got it.
And she's talking about how, and I just looked at her like, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, he's if you're homeless and you live next to the river, that's definitely going to affect you. I mean, we're supposed to have wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour here and 70 miles over in the Bay Area. So
I don't think he's homeless.
you make him sound like he's homeless.
He's not homeless though.
Okay, well then say that.
In my science class, our science teacher, she tried to get us to change seats, but it didn't really work because of the way she set it up. She gave us like at the beginning of the class, she gave us all sticky notes with like numbers on it, and then she used a randomizer to choose our numbers. But we all, and she's like, okay, if you see your number or I call it your number, you can sit anywhere you want, and we just all sat back.
A randomizer?
Yeah, it's like you can go online and get and like it's like just a bunch of numbers. Like you go choose, you could just look up like a.
Bro, you guys have an app for that?
It's not an app. It's on Google. Like
But it's still an app, basically. You ask Google to randomize your numbers.
Yeah, it's like a randomizer, and then you put in the numbers. So like it was 1 through 25.
Homie, do you know what my teacher used to do when I was in 8th grade to randomize numbers?
I don't know. Probably use like a typewriter.
Yeah, you write them down on a piece of paper. You throw the papers in a hat. Everybody would pull out a number, and guess what? Randomizing. You guys can't even do that. You have to put it on Google.
Well, it's because it's because we were. That was the thing. Like, I mean, we could have done that, but that was just a waste of paper. Cause now you got random ass numbers on like, in a
As opposed to random ass numbers on your phone, I guess. Sure.
Yes, because it was on the Chromebook, and then you just close a tab. Like now you gotta throw all that paper away if it's in the hat.
All that paper is less than one piece of paper, but hey, 2023 and me, here we are. Yeah. How's your love life? You want to share your love life? I mean, you know.
I don't know what to share about it.
No, well, that's fine. You don't have to share. I was just wondering. How's Christmas? How's your New Year's?
How was my New Year's? I didn't have a New Year's resolution.
Okay.
Some kid came into our science class too to interview us for yearbook, but none of us had actual resolutions to do for it.
I mean, it seems a little kind of like wasting your paper. It's a kind of a waste of paper to write down the resolutions of both of 8th graders. What's your New Year resolution? To make it to 9th grade, homie.
I don't know. My New Year's is pretty good, I guess.
Okay. You know, normally you and your sister, you guys have a lot to say.
Yeah. Well, I already said it to Mom, so I've already gotten all that out.
But you didn't say it to me. I mean, you don't have to worry about the people that are not going to watch this. I think the last video got like 3 views. Mm-hmm. So if those 3 people are watching out there, as you can see, we're a bunch of really
talkative people.
Not only are we very talkative, but we're very, very interesting people that have nothing going on in our lives. Literally. We did. We actually, before we get into the good of the ranting, we came home this afternoon after picking up the kids from school to find Benny in our kitchen.
The pig.
Benny is our potbelly pig that we have. We live on a 1/4 acre. So we have some chickens, we have a pig, and we have some rabbits. And Benny likes to break out. Well, somehow today, not only did he break out of his pen, he broke into the house. My wife could have been murdered. He could have been a murderer, and she wouldn't have noticed because she didn't even know that there was a fat pig in the middle of the kitchen. And I gotta give it to him. For having no thumbs, he made a pretty clean break-in. So that seems interesting.
Lock the door so he doesn't get back in. Yeah, I don't know. I have a very interesting life,
Hey, it's okay. I mean, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, you're welcome. But, it's so hard to talk about my life because it's so interesting. Like, I had a lunch by myself today.
Well, you told me that's what you wanted to do, right? That was one I think that you were looking forward to, just having some you time. Your school is not very big at a whopping 353 students now. 353, right? You had 3 new kids?
Yeah.
So, I went to, the school that I went to, we had like 1,500 kids, I'm going to say. somewhere around there. So it was a lot harder. But also, our school was about 6 times as big as yours. I mean, your school could fit in our property. So, you want to do this with me then? Do you know who Damar Hamlin is?
No.
Damar Hamlin, and I keep mispronouncing his name. English is my second language. So if you hear my accent come out, troll me by all means, please. I know that I sound Home Depot sometimes, and it just happens. You know, I can't help it. My wife likes to tell people that I work outside of Home Depot sometimes. So that does happen. I have been offered work also at Home Depot. Damar Hamlin, he is a safety for the Buffalo Bills. He had an on-field injury this past Monday. When he tackled the Bengal, he hit him in such a way that he hit him perfectly on his chest. And there's this condition that, because I'm stupid and I don't do my research, I don't know what it's called. I do know what it's called, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But it hits your if you get a hit on your chest at the perfect time, and it causes your heart to kind of spaz out and seize. And that's what happened to him. So he went into cardiac arrest. He literally died on the field. They had to give him CPR for 10 minutes, which is, at least to me, that's what worries me. Because when your brain has been without oxygen that's circulated constantly for over 3 minutes, then you're looking at brain damage. And to get CPR for 10 minutes is a very long time. And then he died again when he was at the hospital. They resuscitated him again, and he was put on critical condition. He's still in critical condition, but he's on 50% oxygen now. So they're trying to get him to breathe all on his own. And it sounds like, it sounds like they're doing their best. Thankfully, he's got better medical than you and me. So he doesn't have to make an appointment at the clinic. He's getting some of the best doctors out there. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a big football fan, but right now, what's going on with the media, there's this guy who's he's a big announcer, Skip Bayless. He tweeted something that was kind of insensitive to the fact of what was going on. And, he said, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Of course it seems fucking irrelevant. The kid's 24 years old. His career could be over. And this guy, all he cares about is, when do we get more football? I mean, come on, that'd be... Do you think, like, one of your teachers, if you guys, you take Goksul, let's say one of you collapses in the middle of an event, you think your teacher is going to be more worried with you or with losing the tournament?
With us.
Like, come on. But, what are you going to do? Skip Bayless, you're an idiot for saying that. And unfortunately, obviously, I'm a nobody, so he's never going to hear this. But he is catching a lot of crap. Even his co-host, Shannon Sharp, took a day off because he didn't want to talk about this. And I'm going to be playing the video shortly.
Conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Okay. Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
well, I thought-
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
That's where the
gentlemen,
focus should have been,
as he
and not on the
continues.
football game. Yes, let's go, Jen. Thank you.
And then, you guys can tell me what you think. Obviously, for them to fight like that on air tells you how Shannon Sharp feels about Skip Bayless. And he's even already saying that he's not going to remove his tweet because he stands by it. So, I mean, I understand. These guys get paid millions and millions of dollars to play a game, but at the end of the day, they're human beings. They're kids. He's somebody's son. He doesn't have any children right now, but he could be somebody's dad. And if he doesn't come out of this healthy, if he doesn't come out with his brain intact, he may never be a father. He may never experience those things that I cherish. I have you guys. I can't imagine having one of you in intensive care, especially with a brain injury. Well, Annie, I love you. That's about all I can say. But you, Caelum, if you were to have a brain injury, that would be devastating to me. And for anybody to talk about, about Damar and other than a good light and to do anything other than wish him to get better and to send prayers if they're religious. If you're not religious, send out just good vibes in general. That's just ridiculous. Put in the game before the kid. It's ridiculous. I don't have any other way to put it. But yeah, let's just do that. I mean, shit. Let's not make it racial. I'm sure that somebody's gonna say that Skip Bayless is a racist for saying what he said. And he could. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just dumb. This shouldn't be about skin color because it doesn't matter if the guy's black or white or purple, yellow, even though I don't like the purples. But hey, what are you going to do? I'm very prejudiced against the purples.
What is your deal in purple people?
It's the same thing with the old man, that treacherous old man.
That old man has done nothing to you.
Why don't you marry him?
I'm not-
know that he's an evil old man.
That old man has done nothing to you. You not. Well, you finish your thing and then we'll bring up the old man.
Thank you. So just to finish up, Damar's uncle was the one that gave that update. That he explained what had happened. He explained the fact that he had actually had to be resuscitated twice. The family did release. They did release a statement, and the statement from the family reads, "On behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We're deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country. We also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. We feel so blessed to be part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. Thank you." Come on. These people are going through the ringer, and they still have the decency to thank the football organization that drafted their kid. So if you like football, if you're religious, pray for the kid. If you don't like football, if you're not religious, send them good vibes. and nothing but good energy. This says a lot about where he came from. When you think about Damar Hamlin, don't think about the football player. Think about the 24-year-old kid that's fighting for his life right now. Think of the future that he's not gonna get to have if he doesn't come out of this on top. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I know what I would be going through if my kid was going through something like that. And actually, that's a lie. I have no clue what I'd be going through. I don't want to imagine it. I can only halfway imagine what they're suffering right now. If you don't have kids and you have a pet that unfortunately you probably consider your kid, think about that. Just try to think of the pain that these people are going through, and let's just send them all the love and all the good vibes that we can. Let's hope he comes out of it. Let's hope that he's going to be okay. And let's just, like I said before, let's not make this about race. Let's not be hateful when it comes to this. Let's just, let's be respectful to one another. If we don't have a New Year's resolution, that should be the resolution that we all have to hate people for who they are, not the color of their skin. I mean, the other way around. Let's love one another at least enough that we are decent to one another, and to not kick somebody while they're quite literally down. And before I move on to the next subject, I want to talk to this kid about this goddamn old man that haunts me, because he knows what he did.
He has done nothing.
He tried to attack me with a weapon this morning.
Has never done that. Has never even talked to my dad. Doesn't know who he is.
Bro.
You have never met this man. He has never met you.
How do you know?
Have you? When have you talked to this old man?
Don't worry about when we talk.
You have never talked to this old man.
Hey, he knows what he did.
The attack. This morning, he wasn't even facing you. He was talking with the security guard.
You don't
for the
even know.
building, and he was holding an umbrella because it was raining, and we were in the car.
Bro, I asked you if you saw the weapon, and you told me you weren't even facing that way. You didn't even know.
You even said it was an umbrella.
No, I said you're probably going to say that it's an umbrella.
Because it was. Why else would he be holding anything else?
Because he's trying to assassinate me, obviously.
No, he's not. He's literally not.
How do you know? Why don't you marry him?
No, I'm not going to marry him.
Marry him and have little old babies.
That's disgusting. And I wouldn't do that ever.
Which part? Have little old babies or marry the murderous old man?
Both.
Oh.
That's gross. Also, I don't know how much my girlfriend would agree with that.
Oh, so the girlfriend comes out. Look at that. I was able to pry it out.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, so tell me some more about this old man that you seem to be so in love with.
I'm not in love with this old man. I don't know. He walks around the school every morning, or not the school, but like the brick buildings up in front. And that's all he does is that he walks like across it, and then I'm assuming he goes back home. But he always stops to talk with the security guard there. And he does literally nothing. All he's doing is talking in the morning with the security guard.
I think he's trying to indoctrinate the security guard, and they're both going to ambush
As a
me.
matter of fact, my creative writing teacher told me that he's a war veteran.
Yeah. Exactly. So he knows how to kill me is what you're saying.
But I don't think he would do that.
Bro.
He's
You're too kind and good-hearted that you don't see the real people.
That's because he's not trying to kill you. He doesn't even know who you are.
You don't know that.
I can pretty much guarantee that he doesn't know who you are, and if he does not care. He does not care.
Well, I think he had a weapon. I'm pretty sure I know what I saw. I don't know. He has you under his spell that you don't see the plans, and
There is no plans.
you don't see the dark side of this man.
Okay.
But let me ask you something. Did you hear about this?
No.
So this was a Tesla. Uh, and I don't guess, I know now that, well, I knew when I saw it. So the headlines at the beginning said, Tesla drives off a cliff. And it was all about Tesla. So they were trying to make it seem like the car's autopilot was engaged. And the car, for some reason, said, I'm going to go yeet myself off this cliff. For whatever reason, Tesla has been under attack because people think that Elon Musk is the devil because he bought Twitter and he's reinstating all these accounts. But we don't see any more bots, which is weird, right? There's no, there hasn't really been much of what it was before. There's a lot of titties all the time, but aside from that, a lot of wiener too. I don't like that. Too much nudity, but you know, hey, welcome to America. It's your freedom. So anyway, so they're trying to attack Tesla. They're trying to say that it was the car's fault, and then today, so yesterday they realized that it wasn't the car's fault, that it was intentional. And now it has been found out that it was an attempted murder-suicide. So this dude put his family in the car, his wife and his 2 kids, and he deliberately drove off this cliff. 300 feet of the Devil's Slide, which is in San Mateo County. It's about 2 hours from us.
Actually, the article said 250 feet.
Yes.
Sorry.
If you want to be technical, this is more than 250 feet. Different articles have said different things. I don't have a tape measure. I'm not a rappler. You know, I don't feel like, hey, you hold this end of the tape measure, I'll hold the other end. We're going to go to the bottom and see exactly how much it is. I'm going to call it 300 feet. But the reason why we're talking about it is because it pisses me off that people want to blame the car and they want to say that, you know, obviously they wanted to make it about Tesla, but they never mentioned the fact that these 4 people plunged off a cliff. Off a cliff, not just, you know, off a building and go to flat ground. No, they rolled on sharp rocks and plunged more than 250 feet to the bottom of the goddamn cliff and lived.
Yeah.
Don't you think instead of condemning the car, they should be going, holy shit, 4 people just rolled down a cliff. The car didn't explode. They lived. They're going to make it. Shouldn't that be what the headlines are about?
Yeah. Well, nobody likes Elon, so that's why it's all about Tesla.
What do you think about Elon?
I don't know. I know he sent one of his cars into space.
Yeah. That's a pretty big flex.
And I know that, I think wasn't he working on like AI or something?
He is working on AI.
Yeah. I don't know. I think his AI is kind of scary because it kind of falls into like the sci-fi whole AI is gonna take over the world or whatever. And I think Elon looks weird. I don't know. His facial structure is really weird.
Well, how do you know that he's not AI?
I don't know. Unless he's like really, really like way beyond our times advanced AI. I don't.
Time traveler.
Why would he bring it to like specifically here though? He's doing nothing.
Bro, you've never seen the Terminator?
No. I mean, I think I have, but I don't remember.
They send the Terminator back in time so he can so he can kill Connor.
Okay, but like he's not doing that. All he's doing is he's building cars and robots and sending cars.
He's
into
building
space.
what? Robots.
For what?
He's rebuilding the army so they can take over this timeline. So by the time we get to the future, pow.
How do you know we're not gonna end up like what's that movie, that one X-Men movie where Charles and Eric have to send Wolverine back in time so it doesn't happen because all the humans were put into slaves by the robots?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Why are you hoping that?
Because then I won't have to go to work anymore, homie.
Then, yes, you will. You'll be a slave.
But I won't have to pay bills.
be so for real right now.
I'm just
Please
saying,
be
you know,
so
you gotta weigh the options.
Okay, but like the only reason they were able to fix that timeline was because they had the what is it called? They had the metagene,
Well, one, we don't have mutants right now,
obviously.
so there you go. That's your theory. Out the door. Elon's still the Terminator, I think, or is he Iron Man?
He could be. He has the technology for it. Probably has the smarts for it too.
Probably. Wow.
I don't know.
This man said Elon Musk probably has the smarts to be Iron Man.
I think, if anything, like back on topic is, I always like I come across stories like this all the time, and I always wonder why they always take their families out with them. Like if you want to take yourself out, like all right, but like I can kind of see why, but like also, you know, like I don't know, that doesn't, I don't know why you have to take them out too.
Well, with
Because I know some people do it because they think like there's something wrong in their head, and they think like, oh, I'm saving my family, but like a lot of times it's also just like they want to unalive, and they take everybody out with them too.
well, I'm gonna take a gander here, and it's gonna be a dangerous one because it's gonna make me seem a little racial. But just a reminder, I do work in pest control, and I'm a part-time Lyft driver. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I do work with a lot of Indian people. My main customer base, as a matter of fact, happened to be Indians. And what I don't know what was going through his head, but it could have been, you know, it's not husbandless women are not very honorable in the culture, I believe. And I also believe, I could be wrong again, you know, if I'm wrong, by all means put it in the comments. Like I always say, right, put good comments, put bad comments, troll me, but follow me. Troll us now, because yeah, I know I have a funny looking kid who is very awkward. And again, this cast is for that. It's gonna help both of us. It's probably gonna help this guy to come out of his shell a little bit, and it's gonna help with the public speaking.
I don't think so.
Well, you're already doing it. And, I
Well,
mean, like I
that's
said, no
'cause-
one's gonna watch this. I have like 3 viewers, maybe.
That's a difference though. Like the only thing I'd be worried about for this is like people finding it, and then I have to act like you're not my dad because that's embarrassing. Not gonna lie.
I'm embarrassing as a dad.
No,
Hey.
you're not embarrassing as a dad, but like being being found on this would be a little embarrassing. Not gonna lie, so I'd have to like completely gaslight everybody. But otherwise,
Why would it
don't
be
really care.
embarrassing?
Do you? I'm in middle school. Why do you think it'd be embarrassing?
Because you're hanging out with your dad?
Yes. Do you know how many people? Do you know how bad I would get made fun of if like people from my school found this?
Because your father loves you? Oh my god.
Yes, actually, yes.
Bro, that's the best comeback. You're like, yeah, I wanted to spend time with my dad, and he wanted to spend time with me. I'm sorry he hates you. I'm sorry your dad wishes he left you in a sock.
I can't like I can't explain it, but like
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. Hey, I'm sorry that your dad wishes your mom swallowed you. Anyway, back.
Stop.
But yeah, so it was Dharmesh Patel of Pasadena. You know, he was with his wife, he was with his 2 kids, and I think that's what happened. You know, right now there's the layoffs have already started, so maybe he got laid off, and he thought that by taking himself out with his family, then he wouldn't have to leave them, and they wouldn't have to, you know, struggle. Or this is another perfect example of also what I've been talking about, the reason why I do this and the reason why I'm getting the phone number. Maybe he was going through depression, and culturally speaking,
that's not very accepted in this culture, or it's very overlooked.
You know, you have Indian friends,
Yeah.
and you know what they go through. So maybe that's what it was. He was going through depression, and as a provider, to be depressed, it's not a good look.
No.
You know, no, and he didn't get anybody to talk to. So there you go. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have your mom. You know, I'm lucky that she's helped me with my issues, and in a way, you guys are lucky because I communicate with you guys a lot, and I let you know how much I wish I was single without kids. So
That's unfortunate.
you know, but I'm not trying to unalive all of us, especially not
not.
my car. Do you know how much I love my car?
Yes.
I know I don't drive a Tesla. Like I said, I'm a Lyft driver and a pest control technician. So it's a Kia Soul, everybody. It's a 2016 Kia Soul base model. So don't be thinking, oh, like I'm swimming in the money. I'm gonna be swimming in the water from the storm in a few minutes here. You know, with our freaking animals breaking out. Yeah, everything is so soaking wet right now that our animals are able to break out of their enclosures. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, especially when the backyard starts to flood. That's about the only thing I'm gonna be swimming in, mud. So what else do we have? Anything else you want to not share with the group?
Not
Because
share with the group. I don't know. No.
Well, I have a quick rant, another quick one. So as you all know, last night I made a little update on Jeremy Renner's condition, right? And I'm a little bit of a nerd with the Avengers and my superheroes, and I follow Jeremy Renner on Instagram, and you know like you guys you saw the little post, this post right here, where he lets us know that he was, you know, he's fine. He's just obviously very beat up and very tired. If I didn't mention it before, so the safety mechanism on his snowplow malfunctioned and it caused it to run over his legs and give him a little bit of chest trauma. You know, his neighbor's a doctor, put a tourniquet on his leg, and he was able to take him to the hospital. And the rant is freaking mainstream media, man. They're still reporting even this morning that he's in critical condition. They barely today reported on the Instagram post from last night. And you know, you can obviously see that it's a smile. Like, come on, get better media coverage. You know, you pay these people hundreds of thousands of dollars to follow people like Jeremy Renner, and you can't even get that right. You know, with the Jeremy Renner thing and with the Damar Hamlin thing, I think this is showing us, especially now in 2023, I think the news is going to change a lot because you have dumb people like myself and people that are a lot smarter than I am that are going to be catching on to these things and trying to put them out there into the universe so that we actually see what is actually happening and we start to get some unbiased news, which is what we need. And you also need, you know, I think this is necessary. You need a place where you can rant about it, where you can just talk about it, where you can bring your kid who just doodles instead of talking to you. But, you know, you just that, a place where you can express yourself. And I think it's healthy. I think this is going to be healthy for all of us, just to get back to being human, even if it is through a screen. You know, you have anything else, Caelum?
I think saying you're a little bit of a nerd is an understatement.
No, I think I just pooped my pants, but that's for a later episode.
That's disgusting.
All right, well, I finally got a phone number. I'm going to be posting that in the description. You can, I think you can text, you can call, you can leave a message. I'm going to look into the guidelines to see if we can go live, and we can do one of these live if I get enough requests for it. But yeah, if you want to talk to somebody, call that number, leave a message. I'll be happy to call you back. I'm still working on maybe getting a Skype.
Girl, I'm gonna need you to be so for real. Are you sure you don't edit these? You need to edit these.
Why?
That, me personally, if I was a viewer, that's an unsubscribe right there.
Why? Because I just farted?
Yeah, you just.
Hey,
shit your
man.
pants, dude.
I didn't shit my pants. It was just
You borderline.
a harmless toot. And, you know, I'm just letting people into what I'm like on an everyday basis.
That's unfortunate.
But here you are, living in my basement, not paying rent.
Yeah.
We don't have a basement.
No, we don't.
He wishes we had a basement so he could move out right now. But anyway, trolls, like I said, I'm going to be putting, I got the email going, so I'll put the email, I'll put the phone number. You can text, you can call, leave a message. I'll see if I can get us live, and then we can do one of these live one of these days. Leave a comment, you know, like it or don't, I guess. Troll me, watch me succeed or fail. Let's do it together. Be kind to one another, please. I'll be seeing you, trolls. Hear that? Troll me. Don't be kind, says my kid. Have a good one. Want to say bye?
Bye.
Come on, Annie. Annie wants to say bye, so